Let's see how to configure the fire resistance check in CYPE-3D. To do this, in the Project menu at the top of the interface, we select the General Data option. Then, in the Loads section, we click on the Fire Resistance button. The program has a tab for each of the materials that can be tested for fire resistance according to the implemented codes. In our case, the check is available for steel and timber elements. By default, this configuration will be applied to all the elements of these materials defined in the job. For steel, there are three options. The first one allows us not to consider the fire situation. With the second option, we can check fire resistance. The code that appears here for the fire resistance check depends on the selected code for designing the structural elements of each particular material. At the bottom, we specify the required resistance, meaning the period of time in minutes during which a structural element must maintain its load-bearing capacity and the protective coating. Here, we can select without fireproof coating or use boards, panels, sprays, and mortars of different materials, mineral or rock wool, or intumescent paint. By clicking on the Show Detailed Information relative to the use of this dialog box button, we can consult a help table with the different protective coatings available for the steel elements and their density, conductivity, and specific heat values. We can also calculate the critical temperature in a fire situation. This is the temperature value that each section must reach for collapse to occur. This is calculated by means of an iterative procedure considering the combinations established by the selected code for the fire situation, as well as the mechanical characteristics of the steel at high temperatures. For timber, if we activate the Check Fire Resistance checkbox, as well as the required resistance, we define the surface protection. These can be non-protected surfaces, or be protected by wood-derived planks or by plasterboard planks. In these cases, we must specify the protection failure period. After accepting the windows, we return to the program's general interface. If the fire resistance check has been ticked, we can modify the fire resistance settings for specific elements. To do this, from the bar menu at the top of the interface, we select the fire resistance option. Then, we select the bars one by one with the left mouse button or use the crossing method, and press the right mouse button. In the fire resistance pop-up window, the program shows us the type of bar selected, such as steel sections, and allows us to use the configuration entered in the general data of the job, or to specifically configure the fire resistance check. If we select the second option, the same options already described in the general configuration of the job appear, but this time, after clicking Accept, they will be applied only to the selected bars. This option allows us to check an information table when hovering over the bars where the defined fire resistance is specified and, if applicable, the type of protective coating.